Outlast came out in 2013. Red Barrel Games up in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Is that the word?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is that where
Quebec.
it is? Yeah, Quebec.
Montreal.
All that poutine land. That was a really popular game. Came out on a bunch of consoles and PC. Streamed a lot as well. I feel like it was a big streaming success, the first one. Outlast 2, you got to play it at PAX.
Yeah.
Tell me about it, Michael Mahardy.
So it, as of now, does not seem connected to Outlast 1. There might be some threads actually tying them together a little bit, but it seems like its own thing.
So it's not taking place in the first one was in a
mental institution. This one kind of jumps back and forth between a bunch of places. It seemed like it was just the beginning of the game, although that could just be the demo purposes. But it starts off, it's very much like The Conjuring, if you've seen it, based on that supposedly real couple who was always in paranormal investigators. I forget their exact names.
Wasn't that the move?
If you've seen The Conjuring, it's supposedly
yeah.
It's based on these people who wrote a book. It's supposedly real.
Okay.
I don't know. And you're these two investigative journalists that go somewhere into the American Southwest, and there's this big darkness that's just covered the land. So you go to investigate it, and of course, things go wrong. There's a car crash, and then you're separated from you're the guy. So you're separated from your wife, and you're going through this kind of abandoned Resident Evil 4-ish town at the beginning.
Okay,
and
there's a Spanish people.
Yeah, Ganados and everything.
Slowly walking, ambling towards you.
And then the president keeps calling you. That doesn't happen in Resident Evil 4. You're going through that abandoned town, and it's all decaying, dilapidated. But then, without spoiling anything, it jumps to this schoolhouse all of a sudden through this weird supernatural part, and it becomes kind of like the Poltergeist, where there's this invisible thing slamming lockers, and you go and hide in one. And every time you go into the cafeteria, you see these people, quick flashes outside of the windows.
So it's like genre jumping kind of.
Yeah, it does it really well, too, from the 15 minutes we played. Mary and I played it. And then it goes to this thing at the end. It's just the axe murderer that kind of chases you down. And it's really good and very much like the first game, and not just being about jump scares, which can be cheap. The jump scares in this game, so far, it felt like it earned them.
The first game was pretty creepy as well, though. There was a good feeling of dread.
Super demented.
Yeah. I do not like being in this place.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a good blend of gore, just that disturbing kind of horror, unsettling, I think. And it jumped really well between those. And then also, it has that look over the shoulder function that kind of really messes with you because, it's like Guillermo del Toro. He always shows the monster, contrary to what a lot of other filmmakers don't, and that's kind of like what they're doing. And you look over your shoulder while you're being chased by a bunch of these angry villagers, or almost like this undead family, and you're going through this cornfield at the end. And I saw Mary went off the path into the corn, which seems logical, but then she hid in this barrel, and you could see through the holes in it. And then all of a sudden, a bunch of these people are passing by, and then all of a sudden one just stops and turns toward her and opens it. She got killed. I died at one part too, a different part, but I just took the path, but looking over your shoulder at the people chasing you is terrifying. It's so much more dreadful than jump scares.
Yeah.
In such a great way, because it's just this dread that really pushes throughout the whole.
There are a few games that do that chasing sequence in horror games. Good. Do you remember Call of Cthulhu: Dark Corners of the Earth?
Yeah, the Xbox game.
Yeah, it was on PC as well. I think it was what I played it on. Yeah, that was in a game where you were running away from the townspeople and running into doors, and pushing things against the doors, so it would take them longer to break in and stuff. And those sequences were effective. How long were they?
The chase itself, there was one chase in this game, unless you count the school, because you kind of feel like you're being chased, even though I don't think technically you were.
Right.
It lasted about 20 seconds. You're escaping this house into the cornfield through this little farm, and you're hearing these people just shouting some weird guttural language. I don't know what it was supposed to be. It definitely was not what people in the American Southwest speak.
Yeah. Was it quite open? I remember the first game, maybe I'm thinking wrong, or maybe I didn't play enough, but I remember it being quite tight corridor kind of crawly. It opened up some airways, but it was never open.
It was more like Resident Evil or Metroid almost. You kind of go into certain areas, the doors are locked, then you have to figure out, you have to go into the basement and then backtrack a little bit. This was far more linear than the first game. The first game wasn't open, but it was still kind of, you could explore a little bit.
This might be the purpose of a demo though as well.
Exactly, yeah. So I don't know how much of this will translate into the game itself.
But the map, just looking through, going through cornfields and stuff, that seems like there's more space.
Definitely, 100%. The environments themselves are very much more, you can go down multiple paths or just completely ignore the path like Mary did and just go off into the cornfield. It was good in the way it jumped between environments, but also in just how these different types of horror. There's one part where it almost approached that kind of Japanese style, like The Grudge or The Ring with the girl with like hair over her face, and that was
Sadako.
pretty terrifying too. Yeah,
Like it.
it was a very scary demo. Yeah,
How long were you in there for?
15 minutes. It was also cool. The booth itself at the show, you kind of see it from afar. It's like this mini black chapel, and then when you walked in,
I
there's
saw
these,
pictures of it.
yeah, the 3 booths you're playing in have curtains over them, and it's like confessional booths. And one of the guys himself said, like, "Are you ready to confess?" I was like, "Oh my god, I don't think so." But it was cheesy, but effective.
What about the camera stuff? Is any changes to that? The sort of using the night vision and whatnot. I quite liked at the start how it was the one thing I always wanted them to do in like Half-Life 3 was like give Gordon's glasses presence, where you knock them off and when you put them on, you see clearly. The glasses ever come off as well? Does the camera stuff ever get played?
Yeah,
with?
it was just, you're kind of scavenging for batteries, not too constantly that it takes away from the experience itself, but enough that it kind of lends this good tension to it because you're finding batteries in these abandoned homes to, recharge your camera and use the night
such
vision.
Bullshit.
And
If ever I'm looking for batteries for my Xbox One controller, it always takes me like 20 minutes. You're saying abandoned cornfield houses have just double A's lying around.
yeah, they don't have like Office Max or anything, so I imagine like that'd be tough.
They like load up on them. You think
I guess so.
they
I
buy
don't know.
buy in bulk?
There's parts where you cannot see anything because the whole idea is that you're investigating what this darkness is, and there's parts where it's pitch black and you're screwed, and there's you're getting chased by things at certain points, and you're kind of managing the night vision, which is a cool touch. The first game did it, but this one did it really well in that you can't see at certain parts, so you really have to just rely on manage the battery life, or just rely on instinct when you're trying to find your way through the hallways.
Battery management.
Yeah.
It's like being at PAX, being a camera person at PAX. Luna9 also saying Outlast is one of the games in Steam library I've yet to play. I feel like it's one of those games that everyone kind of has, but maybe a lot of people have. I haven't completed it. Was it on PSN? PlayStation Plus, I feel like, or something?
I don't think
early
Outlast
on?
made it to PlayStation. I could be wrong.
I played it on PS4.
Yeah, I played PS4.
Actually,
Oh,
and
really?
I played it. I never played it on Steam. I had heard about it, but like I was in your situation, I never got around to it. And then played it on. It was one of the earlier games I played on PS4.
Yeah.
I played it right after like Lego Marvel superheroes.
I think it was right when all that Twitch stuff. Yeah, it was.
It's a good contrast.
Yeah,
it was Call of Duty Ghosts, Lego Marvel, and then Outlast. I'm pretty positive. It's a
good Saturday night. I like it. Thank you so much for telling us all about it. When is it coming out? How are you feeling about it, actually, in terms of like, did you want to play more? Did it feel like a new take on the sort of tried and tested formula? Because I feel like if any genre goes down the line of, we'll just copy the same thing over and over again, it's the horror genre.
It felt very good like the first game did. I didn't think the first game was spectacular, but it was definitely, I thought it was great. This one seems like it's taking those base mechanics and just putting it in these environments I want to explore, but also don't, because it was pretty scary.
Sweet.
I'm excited for it, yeah.
Thank you, Michael Mahardy.
And fall. Sorry.
Fall. Coming out in fall.
2016,
Halloween, of course it is.
Yeah.
Why would you ever release a game?
They're aiming for it, is what they told me. They
Aiming for
sounded tentative, but we'll find out.
All right.
Yeah.
Cheers.